We are live here at Forsyth Bar Stadium on SRL TV for this round 6 clash between the Penrith Panthers and the New Zealand Warriors. I am Jack Carl and joined in the commentary box, Will Kay. How you doing, Kay?
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Carl. I'm looking forward to this matchup tonight. I think it'll be quite an extraordinary one. The Warriors looking for a win after their poor form last week against the Raiders, and Penrith more desperate than ever, maybe making the top 4 in what's been feeling like forever. It'll be a great matchup tonight.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the Penrith Panthers' chances of making the top 4. If they do want to do it, they've got to win tonight. This is an absolute must for them. As for the Warriors, they're going to be battling it out with the Rabbitohs next weekend for a spot in the top 4. So this will be a pretty important match as well. It's really down to a 3-horse race, and between the Warriors, the Rabbitohs, and Penrith. And for Penrith to stay in that race, they need to win tonight.
Indeed they do, Jack.
So the first hit up will be taken by Logan Strange. Who do you think will win this one tonight, Kay?
My prediction is the Warriors. They've shown time and time again after a loss, they come back stronger than ever. You see that Joe McCartney's switching sides of the field tonight into the 7 and Corcoran going into the 6. It'll be an interesting lineup there, and I think that McCartney will actually really, produce in that 7 role, being more of an organisational player with Corcoran running the ball more. I think it suits both of those players better. And after his kicking game last week, I think he will take a lot of confidence from being given less of the duties as he takes his first kick of the game now.
And that kick will go down to Robbie Elms. We know how dangerous he can be as he steps one and he into some space. He's got Bunce to get past. We know how quick Bunce can be. Is he going to pull him in? I think he will. 10 metres out, Penrith straight onto the attack. Mark Lee will go to dummy half. We'll spread it out to Isaac Edwards. He's back in the halves this week. And it goes to Ollie Parche, the number 13. He'll take a settler. Mark Lee out to Crutcher. Crutcher over the line, I think. Has he got it down? I think he does.
That's got to be a very close one. No blame there towards Ashley Klein going up to use the bunker. I can't see if he's actually got the ball down from that angle, and I think it will be a very, very close one as we've not got a great thing. I think they'll have to go with a try. Yeah, they do.
Well, it was obscured by, I think that was John Nanai, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess they just went with the on-field decision. Ashley Klein giving it a try initially, and the Panthers are straight onto the board. That was quick.
Yeah, and Crusher's been good for the Penrith Panthers so far this season. Only 3 minutes into the match, he's scored his 3rd try of the season, and that brings his total of his career tries to 10. So that's a great bit of effort there from the half.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of scrutiny over the halves for Penrith. Obviously, Brody Kennedy playing 6 last week and the week before with Isaac Edwards in the centers. They took Ash Crutcher off at halftime last week, and their kicking game kind of went bad. Do you expect them to do that again?
I'm not too sure. I think that Lachlan Martin, during the week, he would be very busy making sure that his halves know their role. And they in fact get their kicking game correct for this matchup because the game is so important. So I think we'll see some improvement this week. I'd just like to quickly touch on Brody Kennedy playing in centre tonight. Is that not seen as a massive waste of his talents?
Oh, look, I don't know. If you look at who was there, I mean, Isaac Edwards, he's an absolute gun. They've kind of just swapped him around. Brody Kennedy kind of had a bit of a shocker last week. It might not be the worst call in the world. It'll depend on how Isaac goes, but if Isaac goes well, I think it's a sacrifice well worth made.
Yes, the fullback to 5'8", the fullback to 5'8", switch doesn't suit all sorts of players. We've seen some being successful, Chaz Dingo being one of them, but often we find that their kicking game quite struggles. So no doubt that Brody Kennedy is easily a better fullback.
Oh, great tackle there from Nathan Fisher, driving Broughton Thompson over the sideline. And again, Penrith will have some more field position here to use. Penrith, they're looking pretty good right now. The Warriors seem to be just struggling a little bit, just a little bit shaky. What do the Warriors have to do to get themselves back into this fight, Kay?
Well, I think the only reason that the Penrith Panthers have scored so far is because that poor defense on the kick return. Like, that kick was fine from McCartney. It was a solid kick, and it was nothing special or nothing bad. Sorry, rather is what I mean. But that defense, and I think it was it Robbie Elms. I think it was taking it back at the time, and he just stepped too easily and got too much space, and that just led to points. So they really need to tighten up this defense, especially on the kick returns.
Well, yeah, as the Penrith Panthers, they've got a chance here to put some more points on the board. Sinclair will take it there on the final tackle. They got one play. Isaac Edwards is standing there in position. He puts a little bomb up. It's pretty decent, and Chance Bunsey's too good for that.
Yeah, it's a good take from Chance Bunce there.
An absolute brilliant take, and the Warriors will do it tough to get the ball out of their own end here. They spread it off to Barner. He takes a carry to get it past the 10-meter line. And Corcoran will spread it to Nanai. And the Warriors struggling to make meters here. The third tackle, they're only just out of their 20 now. And Malchus puts a massive shot on Bunce.
That is an absolute bone rattler, that one.
It is. The Warriors are going to be kicking from inside their 20 here by the looks of it. Or just outside, rather. This Corcoran will send it down to Fisher. It finds the grass. It's a decent kick. They need a good defense here, but Fisher bursts through the first line of defense. Bunce is there to wrap him up. Now, previously, between these two sides, the Warriors have gotten the better of the wins. They've won 2 times against Penrith's 1. Do you see them continuing with that streak?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one to call as we have the Panthers throwing the ball around here. They're looking like they really, really want it. I think it's anyone's game still at this point, and it's going to be a tough one to tell.
Yeah, well, Lachlan Martin, the skipper, will take the tackle there. Trying to push his way to the line, but he's driven back. Isaac Edwards with a little grubber kick. Wasn't able to pierce the line. It kind of just sat up in Nanai's lap. The Warriors are going to need something to get themselves out of this little predicament. Playing a lot of the game in their 20. So Logan Strange will spread it out to Barner. He'll take it up past the 20-meter line. Nanai a bump off one. That's a good run from Nanai. That may just be what they needed. And the offload to Jai McCartney. He's not the quickest player, Jai McCartney, but he gets enough meters there to get them up to the 30-meter line. As Jaden White will spread it out to Corcoran. They're looking decent here. Liam Rogers, the pink-haired freak, will take the tackle there. Just 30 meters away from Penrith's line. As McCartney will send the kick down to Marshall Edwards. He's been good this year, hasn't he, Edwards?
He's been a really great pickup for the Penrith Panthers coming in the draft. I know that there's a couple other teams myself interested in for the Manly Sea Eagles. It's been a great pickup, and he's been a very, very solid player so far.
Well, yeah, you mentioned some other clubs looking at him. I've heard some rumblings that he may be moving come season 5. There's a few clubs that are chasing him. I think Penrith will be very quick to try to lock him down. He's an absolute gun. As the other Edwards brother now, he'll put the kick in. It's a decent kick, finds grass. But Broughton Thompson will take it back. He steps one. Some danger signs there. Needed some better defense there on that kick return, Penrith. Can't give Broughton Thompson too much space. We saw him do it last week against the Raiders. As Logan Strange will take the second tackle there. Send it off to Corcoran. He's been decent in the lock position so far after mainly being a hooker. And Awateri. The other Corcoran brother now, as I just mentioned, the Patrick goes to Josh. McCartney will take the run himself. As Corcoran puts a grubber kick in, it's decent. And Brody Kennedy just wraps it up with ease. What was your opinion on that set?
It was a pretty solid set from the Warriors there. A bit disappointing in the end of it, in the completion there. I'd expect a player like McCartney to get more in the face, use his size, and try and get over the defense before putting in a kick, as Crutcher kind of does a bit of a surrender tackle here.
Yeah, well, that tackle was interesting. Malchus taking the hit up on fourth. Mark Lee doing a little jig, fends off one, breaks past another, gets the offload to Malchus. That's great
Oh,
stuff from Mark Lee. Heading to the Newcastle Knights next season. What a picker he is as a part of their leadership group. As Brody Kennedy puts the bomb up. They tap it back to Fisher. Fisher's going to go in, and Penrith are going to be 10-0 up.
wow, that's a great try from Nathan Fisher there. There wasn't much defense in front of them, the Warriors, and Chance Bunch just couldn't get there in time. It's just a great play from the Panthers, sorry, and they've come out to play tonight.
Yeah, they have. Well, if they beat the Warriors here tonight, and they beat the Broncos next week, you've got to say that the chances of them making finals increase exponentially. Honestly, I can see that happening. So they're coming out here tonight with an absolute passion because they know they need to win this game and they know they need to win it big. And it's gone pretty well for them so far.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, Jack. It's been great so far, and a few things have to fall in place with them. One of them being the Rabbitohs. They have to beat the Rabbitohs. But I see it happening. If they play like this, then there's a great chance that they could make the four after starting off the season with a pretty bad losing streak.
Yeah, well, Penrith, they've certainly turned a corner. I think Lachlan, the captain, kind of just rebuilt the team around that round. Was it round 4 when they versed Parramatta? I think it was round 4. They rebuilt the team. They looked pretty good. They looked pretty good since then. Obviously not so much last week, but yeah, I think Penrith are going on an uphill trajectory. My little worry for Penrith is that they may finish 5th yet again. Um, Lachlan isn't the greatest fan of the 5th place position. Obviously, Penrith doing that in season 1 and 2. So they run that risk of just narrowly missing out as the Warriors will try to fight themselves back into this game with Broughton Thompson taking a good run there. We'll spread it to Corcoran, who sends a long ball to Nanai. And I think that's Lachlan Sinclair just hanging on by the discrepancy. Sorry, no, it's Ollie Pache. And Barner gets driven back in a strong tackle there. That'll be third. First 20 minutes of the game are done. Gotta say Penrith are on top so far. Bunce, he usually looks dangerous. He's been a little bit quiet here tonight. He'll want to get himself injected into the game. He sent it out to the number 4, Sean Walker. He's put on his back come the last tackle. The Warriors are going to need a good kick chase here. We know how dangerous Robbie Elms is. Goes down that way. Oh, Zen Markwell will take the kick, rather. I actually don't mind that end to the set from the Warriors. Kicking it just deep enough where Markwell has to turn around, but not deep enough where Elms can take it. It's a pretty good strategy there.
Yeah, the Warriors, they're pretty good at building pressure, and we've seen time and time again that when they build that pressure, they reap the rewards through points, and I think that's what they're trying now, trying to get some momentum against the Panthers before striking to maximize their chance of completion. They need to get some points on the board soon, but there's no rush, and I think the captaincy group in that, John McCartney and Chance Bunce, know that, and they're in no rush to get points here, but they know that if they keep on having the strong sets they are, running the ball through John Nanai and such, they'll get points pretty soon.
Well, we saw it last week with the Warriors, actually, where they scored 18 points in the first half, and the Raiders scored none, and they still ended up losing that game. So Penrith have had a good start, but they're going to need to keep it up for the entire game, and the Warriors, they certainly won't be disheartened about the fact they're down by so many points. So far, it's pretty easy to come back from that kind of deficit in the SRL. Some teams can do it in 10 minutes, and the Warriors are certainly one of those good teams.
Indeed they are. As we look to finish off the set here for the Warriors.
Yeah, well, Corcoran will play the ball there. Go to Jaden White. The other Corcoran brother send it down to Marshall Edwards. I'll tell you what, Penrith's wing combination Looks pretty good. Marshall Edwards on one side, Robbie Arms on the other. I believe Robbie Arms is max speed, if I'm not mistaken. And Marshall's pretty close. As Fisher with a great inside-outside play there. He breaks past Bunce. Sean Walker with a try-saving tackle. Mark Lee darts at a dummy half. He's absolutely smashed. Absolutely smashed. And he loses the ball. Great defense from the Warriors.
It was Patrick Corcoran with an absolute wrecking ball of a hit. He has floored Mark Lee there, and that is some great defense from the Warriors.
Yeah, well, it was probably needed as well. Penrith looking dangerous there. Mark Lee in particular. If he didn't get hit there, if Corcoran didn't make that tackle, he had some space in front of him, Mark Lee. And it could have been more points for the Penrith Panthers. And the Warriors, they will now just enter their attacking half as Bunce with a good run. Take it 30 meters out. 30 meters to the Penrith line, rather. And Aratari will send it off to Corcoran. Decent kick. Will land in the hands of Marshall Edwards, and he runs out with it. That is disappointing from Marshall Edwards.
Well, that's not great there from the Panthers. They're gifting the Warriors some field position here. It was Corcoran with a good kick that put that pressure on, and Marshall Edwards just no sideline awareness, running straight into touch, almost taking out the touchy in the process.
Yeah, that is so the Warriors now they'll have an opportunity. It's Corcoran just straight through the middle. As he got there, he's just inches from the line. Jaden White will send it to Corcoran again. The other Corcoran brother this time. They're close to the line here, the Warriors. And another Corcoran will take a run. He's put on his back. He's held up.
They've been busy so far in the set, the Corcoran brothers.
3 plays, 3 Corcoran touches. White will send it to Barner. Pushes his way. He doesn't quite get there. The Warriors, they're just doing a little one-out play at the moment. And McCartney will get driven back by, not quite sure who that is. Is that the skipper Lockie? I think it is. Josh Corcoran puts a grubber kick in. There was no chasers. And Ash Turner just cleaned it up pretty easily. Disappointing end to the set from the Warriors.
That's a great take from Ash Turner there, cleaning up the loose ball, and the Warriors unable to put on points. They'll need to keep down the Panthers down this end to hopefully put on the next set. Otherwise, they're not looking great if they can't complete that close to the line.
Yeah, I agree. As Ash Turner, he cleaned the ball up early. He makes a great run and a pass to Ollie Pache. Playing lock this week. He pushes his way forward. Penrith, they just seem to be making meters easily right now. As Isaac Edwards will send it off to Tim Ball. The interchange forward coming off the bench about 8 minutes ago. Pache on the last will just take the tackle. What's happened there?
Well, that's a disappointing last play from the Penrith Panthers there. I'd expect them to do something more, especially with the likes of Ash Crutcher calling out for the ball there, not happy, and then that man gives away a penalty there.
Yeah, that is disappointing from the Penrith Panthers, and Warriors just getting invited back into the game. And they'll start their set 40 meters out. They go to Barner. He'll take the first hit up of the new set. Tim Ball and Ash Turner making the tackle. Joshua Corcoran out to the other interchange forward, Daniel Ango. The Warriors, they probably need to score in this set just for their confidence. They're not looking great when attacking the line. There's Paddy Corcoran now. Take it 30 meters out. This game has a lot of similarities to the Warriors-Raiders game, except in reverse, and actually minus the voodoo magic. Do you think the Warriors make a comeback in the second half?
I mean, stranger things have happened. It's only 12 points down at the moment, and I think that Joe McCartney needs to really take the game by the scruff of the neck. We've seen how good of a player he is, as I'm not sure who knocks it on there. I think it may have been, it was a Warriors player there.
Yeah, well, that's, that'll get him 6 more tackles, Penrith. Oh, almost a knock on from Pache. He just managed to clean the ball up. So into the final 8 or so minutes. As Crutcher sends it out to Fisher. Mark Lee will go to ball. Ball bumps off one. I think that was Corcoran. And absolutely steams down the middle. Bunce forced to make the tackle. He does it relatively easily. Lachlan Martin will be pretty happy with his side's performance so far. He'll take the tackle about 25 meters out. Isaac Edwards with a bomb. It's not the greatest looking kick, but Marshall Edwards tries to make something out of it. McCartney wraps him up with relative ease.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nothing play there at the end there. Joe McCartney diffusing with that tackle. He needs to be more potent in attack as he has been in defense tonight. As Buncey now taking a run through the middle, looking confident for the Warriors. They need more runs like that to get down the other end.
Yeah, they will. And into the final 5 minutes almost. And the Warriors will enter Penrith's half. Sean Walker will send it out to Joshua Corcoran. Be tackled by Tim Ball and Ash Turner. Corcoran seemed to take the line on a lot tonight, perhaps relishing the number 6 jumper. Send it out to McCartney. Kick it down to Marshall Edwards. And he makes one step and Bunce making the tackle. After that first kick return from Robbie Elms, the Warriors have seemed to get more on top of the Penrith kick returns, haven't they?
Indeed they have, as they look to really diffuse Marshall Edwards and Robbie Elms. Yes, indeed. Sorry, I had to sneeze for a second there. As we have the Warriors really tightening up that defense. You know, the halves and the second row is coming in as, I think it's Patrick Corcoran getting in the way of the ball there and giving away a penalty.
Yeah, well, Penrith now are just about to enter the halftime break. To put points on the board. An 18-0 lead into halftime would be quite beneficial for them. Is Lachlan Martin not making too many meters there. I think he actually lost meters on the tap. Mark Lee sent it to Isaac Edwards. And Tim Ball. It'll be Jaden White there to make the tackle. With I think that's Ango. And Fisher will send it out to Robbie Elms. They don't seem to be doing too much in this set of the Penrith Panthers. Just taking some few meterage plays, getting into the 20. As Ball will take another settler. Putting this back by White and Corcoran. Mark Lee looks at his options. He goes left to Crutcher. Crutcher sends it wide and intercepted by McCartney. It looked a dangerous play, but McCartney just able to read it pretty easily.
Yeah, it was a good play from McCartney there, just reading the play, making sure that his team doesn't concede any more points. He's been pretty potent in defense, like I said before, just needs to do more in attack. The plays mostly being on his side of the field. He's been pretty confident, but I know that he's got that special spark that can really get the Warriors going here.
Yeah, well, I'd have to agree with you on the defense. I mean, he's a big body. He's changed the side of the field, so it's changed up his defensive patterns a little bit. But he's looked very solid tonight. It's Corcoran just outside the 40. Put the kick down to Elms. He just misses it. That was a bizarre kick, or a bizarre catch, sorry. And Elms driven back to the 10-meter line. That was very bizarre. They're going down the short side with Crutcher. This will probably be one of the last few plays. As Mark Lee will send it out to Robbie Elms. He'll just take the tackle. Might get one more play here. They will. A rush for it. Malchus will take the tackle as the siren sounds. Penrith lead the Auckland Warriors, 12 points to 0. We'll see you in the second half. Welcome back here for the match between the Warriors and the Penrith Panthers here on SRL TV. Penrith lead the Warriors 12 points to 0. Will K, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it's a solid first half there, I thought, from the Penrith Panthers in the second, I guess, part of it, looking to take the foot off the pedal a bit. And the Warriors putting it on, not able to put any points on the board. It'll be an interesting second half for sure, as both teams need this win.
Yeah, well, it's a must-win match for the Panthers. The Warriors, they'll be sweating on it as well. It's not as important, but certainly still is pretty vital to their finals chances. How do you think this second half will pan out?
I see the possibility that the Warriors get some more points on the board, but ultimately I think that the likes in the Mark Lee and Nathan Fisher will get the Penrith Panthers over the line. We'll just have to wait to see.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that Penrith are going to come home strong, as it's a decent kick there from, I can't remember who that was. Simons making the catch just meters before his line, and they trap him in the 10-meter line. That's good, but Bunce absolutely ruins all that hard work in defense as he absolutely streams up the field. Nathan Fisher having to make the tackle. That's a good run there from Bunce.
That's a very solid run indeed, as the Warriors look to put some points on the board here. It's Chance Bunce, the man, stepping up, and I think that he has the potential to blow this game open. So does that man, Joe McCartney, as he dummies. He goes one way, doesn't have the speed to get around Fisher there.
Yeah, well, the Warriors, here they are. They got Jaden White. They sent it to Corker, and he was over. He didn't need a pass. He saw his brother screaming for the ball. He shouldn't have listened to him and just tucked the ball under his arm and put it over. It's Patrick Corker, and he may have made up for his mistake. I think that was a forward pass, but it doesn't matter because Corcoran gets wrapped up by Mark Lee.
The disappointing end to the set there. They made 97 meters in that set alone. It was an incredible effort from the Warriors to get down that side of the field, so they just couldn't capitalize.
It was a very good effort, but yeah, just that little bit of class at the end. As Paddy Corcoran putting the grubber kick in, I wonder if it was someone like a Joe McCartney. It may have been a different story. As the Panthers, they'll push the ball out of their own half now. Lachlan Martin will get driven back about 35 meters from his own line on the fourth tackle. Send it to Isaac Edwards. He's looked decent tonight, Edwards. Not anything great, not anything bad. Be kicking from their own 40. Which winger do they kick it to? Crutcher decides to go down to the winger Simons. He doesn't make the step, and it's a good tackle there from the Penrith defense.
Yeah, a bit disappointing there from the Warriors. Just not showing much elusiveness on that kick return. I thought Isaac Simons especially looking to get around, but didn't really see much. And the Penrith does a good start to the defensive set.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. I think that the Warriors won't be too happy with that kick return. We know how vital they are in the SRL. Kick return's really the start of your set. It can determine how good or bad that set goes. As Ango will take it here on the last, just entering the Panthers half. As McCartney will send it down to Marshall Edwards. He puts a step on Sean Walker, but Bunce is able to wrap him up with relative ease. This game's gone into a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. A bit of a grind. Both teams just going set for set. As Mark Lee will send it to Edwards. Delaney, who's come on at the halftime break. He makes a little break. Let's say the tackle there on the third. Curtin. Taken down there. The Panthers looking to put some attacking threats onto the Warriors. Lachlan Martin with an offload. He probably should have held onto the ball there. They'll be able to put a bomb up here. Maybe push. They won't go for the bomb. They'll go for the punt. Scrutch will send it down to Nahana Broughton-Thompson. And again, Warriors with not much on that kick return.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing there. Yeah, not much effort in the kick return from the wingers especially. Hopefully they can get on top of that soon. Otherwise, the Penrith Panthers just looking too strong.
Yeah, they are looking very strong in defense and attack. It's the first 10 minutes of the second half go by pretty quickly. Sean Walker, he pushes his way up. Warriors struggling to make meters. They haven't really entered the Panthers 20 in this game. There's one opportunity that will be big. McCartney kicking it into a teammate. It'll be offside, and Penrith, they're going to be straight on the attack.
Yeah, it's a That's a drastic error there. Hopefully, the Warriors can hold on here. The Penrith Panthers looking very, very confident that they can put points on the board soon. The Warriors need to have a mammoth set and defense if they are to keep them out.
Yeah, well, they certainly will. Second tackle, 30 meters out. Penrith, they're going to have, just say, 2 or 3 plays in their 20. I'll have 2. Oh,
Oh,
that is big. Do they take the 2? What do they decide? They're going to push on. They are going to push on. What do you think of that call?
well, that's an interesting call. I think that they should take the 2, make sure that they hold out those Warriors for extra points. But it looks like
Oh, they
oh.
should have taken the 2. Oh, no, that is an absolutely fatal error there. Ash Crutcher just overrunning the ball. That is an absolute cardinal sin.
I was about to say that the Panthers looking like they can put some points on the board, looking confident that they can do so, and then they throw a pass like that. The Warriors straight off the hook. They'll be very, very relieved at that.
Yeah, they certainly will be. Um, I don't know what that was all about for the Penrith Panthers. That was just a basic error, and they'll be looking back at it and probably thinking they should have gone for the 2. If they lose this game in a close margin, they're certainly going to look at that moment as a turning point. Jaden White, oh, and that is another poor error. Just a little bit of class there. McCartney should have had the ball there and put the kick in, but Corcoran getting in his way.
Yes, as we have that man, Tim Ball. He's been very, very good for the Penrith Panthers. It's been a good pickup in the forwards, and Marshall Edwards getting around, looking a bit more dangerous here, the Panthers.
They certainly are. As Malchus will now take... He's been a workhorse in this game, Malchus. He's looked pretty damn good. Just taking a lot of clean runs. This might be an intercept here. But no, Fisher is able to take the control of the ball, but not find much space. So Lachlan Martin pushes way up. Who do you think will be the next to score, Kay? Because it's kind of a bit of a grind at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's still anyone's game. I'll be interested to see who the next one is to score. It can go either way here for the teams.
Yeah, well, you certainly got to say that Penrith have the ascendancy. They've got more field possession. I wouldn't be surprised if they have more possession in general. So yeah, the Warriors, they're going to need to get themselves a little bit of something soon. They might not need to score, but just start working that field possession game over. Because they haven't been anywhere near Penrith's line in quite some time. So Daniel Ango will push it forward on the last tackle. Jaden White, he'll send it off to Joshua Corcoran. They get it better that time, sending it down to Marshall Edwards. They seem to be favouring Edwards over Elms to kick it to, and Bunce will tackle Edwards with relative ease.
Yeah, it's been not much to say there. Yeah, the Penrith Panthers keeping on this push on. The Warriors doing the same. It's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. The Panthers not getting too great field positions since that penalty that they blundered. So yeah, we just have to wait to see. Hopefully, the Warriors can come up with some points soon enough.
Well, Penrith now, they'll put the kick in. I think this game's going to be broken through a kick return, to be honest. Neither team is doing much in their forwards. Simon's just wrapped up there without any fight by Anthony Delaney. It's been 20 minutes or 18 minutes now since halftime. We've seen no score from either team. It was on the back foot Engo, but he manages to make some meters of it. Jaden White will send it off to Patrick Corcoran, who makes a good fend. It's a good 20 meters off that run. I'll bring it 35 meters out from the Penrith line. They got a good opportunity to get some decent field possession here. And go push it past the 30-meter line. They'll put a kick in. It'll probably be Corcoran by the looks of it. No, it'll go to McCartney. He sends it down to Robbie Elms. He gonna step Awateri? No, he's not. Awateri wraps him up. And again, just a bit of a grind at the moment. Neither team really doing too much. Not throwing much as we enter the final 20 minutes of the game.
Oh.
Relentless with a good run. Gets the offload of Curtin. Maybe should have just held onto the ball. He's had a good game so far, Relentless. He's looked decent. He's had a few good runs. Zen Markwell. It's at the tackle. We go to Crutcher, to Tim Ball. Straight through the middle. Gets the offload to Brody Kennedy, but it's forward pass. Disappointing there from the Panthers.
Yeah, I would like to see some more effort there from the Panthers. They could have come up with something, but they haven't, and the Warriors finally have probably the best field position they've had in a long time. Pushing forward, and they're just on the second tackle, just under 30 meters out from the try line. They're looking to put some points on very soon.
Yeah, certainly are. As Ryan Lawrence straight through the Penrith defense with a line break there, 10 meters out. The Warriors, this is the best field position they've had. McCartney, he'll push his way up. Could we see some Warriors points here maybe? Jaden White to Joshua Corcoran. Penrith's defense has been good. It's continuing to hold up against the Warriors' barrage. As McCartney will send a bomb up to the winger Broughton Thompson. And Zen Markwell, too easy for him. What were your thoughts on that set from the Warriors?
It was a good set through the middle there, making some great meters, starting at the 40 and getting all the way to the try line. That last play kick was a bit disappointing from McCartney. It was a bit too shallow and didn't put enough pressure on the Zen Markwell.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good run there from the Panthers. And his third tackle. So that's been pretty decent getting out of their own end. Markwell pushed back that man you were just talking about in the tackle. There's Nathan Fisher. Brody Kennedy's not the fullback anymore. And Blair Curtin gets taken down. Again, we've seen a few times from Penrith, they offload and lose some meterage. They probably don't need to be doing that. Isaac Edwards, pretty wonky kick. And Sean Walker takes the ball pretty easily.
Yeah, not much to say about that. It's just been end-to-end footy for the last bit. Oh, that's a big hit there. And yeah, both sides just being a good match for each other, and no points have come in the second half.
Yeah, well, it's been 25 minutes now, and both teams just grinding away at each other. I wonder who will be the first to crack. My gut says that the Warriors will, but I don't know. It's a tough one to predict. Do we even see any more points for this game? That's a big question as well. As Sean Walker tackles Marshall Edwards. They've definitely figured each other out in those kick returns. I'm not seeing any big meterage from it anymore. There's Martin, the skipper. He'll be happy with Penrith's performance so far. They just need to hang on for these last 14 minutes now. Malchus, again, I said it earlier, I'll mention it again. He's been very good in the middle for Penrith. Fisher will step one. Maybe taken down by, I believe that's John Nanai. Crutcher with a kick. Pretty decent one. He kicks it early. It's not quite going to have the distance. Had the angle. But Bunce is wrapped up there by Anthony Delaney. Cartney will send it out to Engo. Wrapped up on the 30-meter line. McCartney sends it to Bunce. It's a dangerous looking play. But they wrap him up. I think that's Ash Crutcher. Just anything that the Warriors are throwing at the Penrith line, they're not really succeeding. And the same goes the other way around as well. It's been 28 minutes now since the halftime break. McCartney puts the bomb into Marshall Edwards' wing. They've definitely targeted Edwards tonight. And the man who made the kick will make the tackle as well.
Yeah, Marshall Edwards, very confident tonight on that wing. They've been kicking it down to him a fair bit, and He's taken almost every one, apart from that one that he ran into touch in the first half. He's been very solid, and I think that he'll take a lot of confidence from his performance tonight.
I got to agree with you there. He's certainly not been as explosive as usual, but he's been really solid. As Robbie Elms makes a little break. But Bunce, he's been really great out the back. I wonder if he's even missed a tackle tonight. I'm sure he has, but I can't remember any. He's looked very good defensively. As Broughton Thompson pokes his nose through the line and wrapped up. Corcoran will send it to Nanai. Nanai's on the wing. Big John Nanai, the prop, racing down the touchline. You don't usually see that from John Nanai. As Corcoran sends it out to Jaden White, fends off one. And to the final 10 minutes of the match. Again, still no points in the second half. Broughton Thompson makes a step. Fisher with the tackle. Looked a little bit dangerous there, Broughton Thompson. Probably one of the more dangerous wingers in this game so far. McCartney takes it just from 20 meters out. Jaden White, John Nanai. Nanai with the grubber kick. We saw him earlier streaking down the touchline. Now he's trying to be a half, a wing half, and a prop. He ends up dropping the ball, though. Maybe they chuck him on the bench as a bench utility. Come on, anywhere.
Yeah, it was awkward there for Nana. I just like to take a moment to appreciate Isaac Edwards actually kicked it back to his player because he thought that he may be a dangerous place to pick up the ball himself and make sure that they get 7 tackles rather than just to play the ball in the first.
Sinclair now. Getting driven back in the tackle. I think that this game might end up 12-0. I mean, neither team look like they're going to score. It's just been a really grindy second half. Crutcher sends it down to Broughton Thompson. Again, the kick returns haven't been much today. And Kennedy tackles him without, again, any fight. Ryan Lawrence sends it to Slattery. Taken down just before the 40-meter line. White bursts through. That's a good run. Robbie Elms, he's into space. He takes the interception. Robbie Elms will score, and you got to say that'll be the match.
Oh, that is easily the match. Thank you very much, Robbie Elms. Happy there with the Warriors, giving him the ball pretty easy, and there was a great try, just straight to the line, and he's in for a double there.
Yeah, Robbie Elms. Well, the wingers have been quiet tonight. Robbie Elms has probably made the best out of it. Penrith Panthers, they'll be very happy with this win, keeping the Warriors to 0. They needed to get a bit of for and against on them. So that's a good thing for the Panthers, for their chances of making finals. They're going to need to smash the Broncos next week. But this goes quite the way to their finals hopes.
As we see Joe McCartney a bit disappointed with his team there. He'll be kicking off in a moment. The Warriors disappointing that they've let the Penrith Panthers get on top and just absolutely manhandle them in defense. They'll be go back to the drawing board come the weekend to try and figure out a better solution for next round.
Yeah, well, I don't know where the Warriors go from here. They've got a big game against the Rabbitohs next week. It's a must-win. If they want to make finals, they need to win that game. I don't know who makes finals from here, but it's got a hell of a lot tighter. The final round is going to be an absolute blast. Some big games being played. Probably the battle for the minor premiership between the Canberra Raiders and the Manly Sea Eagles. It's a poor knock on there. The Warriors have been given the ball. You got the Rabbitohs and the Warriors. That'll maybe decide the top 4 spot. And the final game, the Penrith Panthers and the Broncos. Well, that could decide if Penrith make the top 4 as well. It's going to be a hell of a last round of footy to watch.
Yeah, that's right. Like, we've got no clue what's yet to happen. It's still pretty much anyone's game. Take your pick of those three, the Penrith Panthers, the Warriors, and the Rabbitohs, and who will make the finals. Rabbitohs. Oh! And it looks like Bunsey has come down and he's clutching his thigh there.
Oh, that could be big. That could be big for the Warriors, as I think I'm seeing Bunce run off. No, he's not. Yeah, he's coming off the field there. No, he's not. Sorry, he's staying out there. He'll make the tackle, actually. He seemed to be running for the sideline there for a second, but I think he might have changed his mind when he saw that the Penrith Panthers had the ball back. Not sure what that was all about. He seems to be hurt. That could be massive. Obviously, the Rabbitohs, we just mentioned that's a big game. They've got to beat the Rabbitohs next week. If Bunce is on the bench, that could really hurt them.
Yeah, it could hurt them pretty terribly as well. Bunce, he's been such a great player. He's got a bit of a limp. He's off screen now, but you can see that he's got a little bit of a limp. He's in a bit of pain. He's wincing, and as they have a deep kick here, and it just goes dead. Bunsey let it going dead.
Oh, well, looking now, I think Bunce came off in that little break to go to the 20-meter line. He's not in the field anymore. That'll be the last play. I don't know if there was any point in taking him off. But Penrith, they're going to win it 18 points to 0 to keep their finals chances alive. An absolute beauty from Penrith.
I think that we can talk all we want about the attack, but Penrith Panthers' defense tonight has been absolutely rock solid, and that's what got them over the line in the end. Yeah, it was a great performance from the Penrith Panthers, and I think the captain Lachlan Martin will be very, very happy with how his team went.
Yeah, I've got to agree. You mentioned the tackles. I mean, Warriors made 6 more missed tackles than the Penrith Panthers. Penrith made 32 line breaks to the Warriors 24. Penrith actually made more tackles, although they had more possession. And they both made the same errors. It was an overall even matchup between these two sides. But Penrith, they just were better defensively. They didn't give Warriors a sniff.
Yeah, and the Warriors next week, we spoke about how important that game is. Chance Bunce, he's in a bit of strife. He didn't look good on the field. He had 7 line breaks tonight. Absolutely elusive for the Warriors. Probably their best on field. And yeah, I don't know how they're going to go next week without him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, who they play at fullback. The Panthers stats now. Mark Lee with a lot of meters there. 100 passes. Robbie Elms with 196 run meters as well. Mark Lee, 30 tackles, 0 missed. That is a big performance from Mark Lee. He had a great game tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We were talking about defense, and then I think that man there, Mark Lee, was crucial. You said 0 mixed tackles is a great effort, especially for a hooker. Making 30 of them, probably the best defensive player in the field tonight. And then we look at the man, Robbie Elms. He had a cracker of a game, scoring 2 tries and running 196 meters. He was crucial for the Panthers' success tonight.
Yeah, well, I think that about wraps us up tonight here on SRL TV. It's the end of the round, but make sure to come back next week because we've got some blockbuster matches. See you later.